Remember that scene in The Wolf of Wall Street where Jordan sets up a bank account in Switzerland to protect the money, his money, from the government? Do you want to learn a legal and ethical way you can achieve the same, but not in a movie, in real life, so you can legally pay 0% tax in your money? We're talking about income, salary, dividends, capital gains. That's possible, and that's what we specialize in. Keeping your assets safe from divorce, lawsuits, undesired eyes, and any other problems that might pop up in the future. Really bulletproofing your wealth, your assets, so nobody, by signing a paper or having a planned attack against you, can take any of your money away from your hands. Watch this video through, because this is exactly what we're going to talk about today. My name is Miquel Gironès, CEO and founder of First Class Citizen. And today I'm going to show you how to build a first-class life, where you are completely sovereign over your reality. You are going to learn how we are able to help our clients legally pay 0% taxes, how we also help them bulletproof their net worth so their assets are safe and unseizable from any external force, government, people, bad decisions, just black swans and random things of life, nothing. How we help them get their hands in some of the strongest passports, citizenships in the world, talking about Paraguay, Mexico, St. Kitts and Nevis, Turkey, Serbia, rare but possible, the UAE, powerful one, Spain, and how they get approved for the best credit cards in the world, which are in the US system, as non-US citizens. We're talking about the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Amex Gold, the Amex Platinum, all of these great cards that give you luxury stays around the world paid for free with points and miles. All of these without being US citizens. So let's start with 0% taxes. How in the world are we able to publicly advertise that somebody can pay 0% taxes? How are we able to make these bold claims and not fear having any issues with governments or tax authorities? Am I being reckless? Is all of my team a bunch of fools that recklessly follow me? First, let me explain how taxes work. Taxes are based on your tax residency. So whatever country you are considered to have your tax residency, that's where you will owe your taxes. Personal taxes, corporate taxes are separate. And in any country that you spend more than 183 days, which is 6 months of the year, January to December, natural years, you will be considered automatically by law a tax resident of. The only exception to this, as you might know, is the US. Their citizens, regardless where they are in the world, regardless how much time they spend in one country per natural year, they will still be permanent tax residents to the United States. It means they will need to pay Uncle Sam, the IRS, money from their profits, their real estate, if they have offshore bank accounts, all of this needs to be declared. This is what's called citizenship-based taxation. And the only way to escape that tax trap is to revoke the US citizenship. And before doing that, becoming a citizen of another country. Dominican Republic, Mexico, Argentina, Paraguay, St. Kitts and Nevis, Serbia, Spain, you name it. When you have this other citizenship, you can stop being a US citizen, and then it's much easier because those countries will not tax you on the citizenship but on your tax residency. So, with an example, a really simple way to understand this. Imagine a Mexican citizen that spends 9 months a year in Switzerland. Where is he going to pay taxes? By law, he will need to pay taxes in Switzerland because he spent more than 183 days per natural year in that country. That's how it works by default. But a nice tax strategy here is spending under 6 months per year in any country of the world and setting up on purpose strategically a tax residency in a country that is 0% taxation. One of the last countries in the world that allows this is the UAE, cities like Dubai. If your tax residency is in the UAE and you don't spend more than 6 months in any other country, you will be considered a UAE tax resident. And legally, the UAE requires you to pay 0% taxes on your personal income, on dividends, and on capital gains. And in order to maintain this tax residency in the UAE, once you are a resident, when you have your Emirates ID, is spend 90 days in the country. Per year, that's it. And there are many ways. You can become a resident first, get your Emirates ID, and then spend the 90 days and pay 0% taxes. Usually, the easiest, the one that our clients choose, also one that is very affordable, is via a company. You own a company, you sponsor yourself, and they give you the Emirates ID. 16 days. You can even in these 16 days, for our clients, we open them the bank accounts, personal bank account and corporate bank account. Another option is you have somebody who already has this company, this free zone company, they sponsor you. You don't even need to create a company. Boom, you become a UAE resident. You can do the same for your family, for your kids. They can all be sponsored by this other company, whether it's yours, whether it's somebody else's. Another way is via real estate. You can get a golden visa, and there are multiple ones. This is something I will not bore you right now with all of the options that you have, but once you have this residency, this Emirates ID, then you only need to spend 90 days per year in there. Forget about taxes in the UAE. You only have 5% VAT. If you buy property, you have the 4% DLD. You have very few taxes on transactions. That will depend. You can choose because it's based on your consumption, what you buy, what you sell. But when it comes to income taxes, flat zero. The only tax they collect is 5% in VAT. Let's say you go have dinner, let's go you buy a pair of shoes to your girl, that's 5%. That's it. And think about it, most countries already have this. When you go in vacations to Spain, you have the 21% IVA, IVA, Impuesto sobre el Valor Añadido. I know it quite well because I paid just a 52% in taxes in Spain back in 2019. And I've lived there many years of my life. Another example would be the UK. They also have VAT. The USA, it's 8%. Saudi Arabia, 15%. So it oscillates between 8 to 21%. The UAE is 5% on purchases. They have also recently added this 9% tax on companies. Oh, Miquel, I've heard that Dubai is not 0% anymore. Mainline companies, not all the free zone companies, and not all the income of the free zone companies. There's still $102,000 net profit, not revenue, net profit per year that a free zone company can pay 0% taxes on. And this will depend on the type of business you have. So, okay, if you have containers shipping from Dubai to another country by sea, that's not probably going to be a free zone company opportunity. But if you're making money online, if you are a coach, if you are having a company that operates within the options to create a free zone company, you are still eligible for the 0% taxes. Again, I am oversimplifying it here. This is not financial advice, and that's the reason why clients pay us to set this up for them properly, because there are nuances, and all of these words that I'm saying is without knowing you. But this is the main outline for you to get the gist of it. All of this to tell you that when you operate like this, getting to 0% taxes, it's quite simple. You don't need to spend 6 months in one country, let's say in tiny Monaco, to pay 0% taxes in there, or 6 months in one little island in the Caribbean, Dominica or St. Kitts or Antigua and Barbuda. Not 6 months, 3 months. And not in a city, in a country that, oh my goodness, what I'm gonna do here. It's Dubai, it's the UAE. You can go to Abu Dhabi, you can go to many places. It's a country. Of course it's known by Dubai, but it is a place that you will enjoy your time during those 90 days. Then the 90 days in, 0% taxes, they disappeared, voila, spend the rest of the 9 months wherever you want in the world. Not crossing the 6 months in any other country, but you already got that. So now that you've deleted taxes from your reality, let's go over how to protect your assets. And the idea that should immediately pop into your mind is holding companies and trusts. Starting with the holding companies, self-explanatory. They are built, they are created to hold assets. So remember when I said owning a company in the UAE to then sponsor yourself, your family, to get the residency, the Emirates ID, then the 90 days and the 0% taxes. Well, nobody said that you need to operate that company in the UAE. It could be a holding company. It could be a company that is just there for the purpose of your visa, your Emirates ID, and this opportunity to be eligible for the 0% taxes. So now imagine this scenario. You create a company in the free trade zone. It's a free zone company that does not have taxes. It also has no operation. That holding company allows you to sponsor yourself and get yourself a nice and shiny Emirates ID. So after 90 days in the UAE, 0% taxes. And then you can create more complex structures. You can have a US LLC owned by a free zone company in the UAE, so you can start creating layers. Of course, this must be analyzed. We must see what's the purpose of that, but sometimes it makes sense to remain more anonymous and not be publicly displayed that you own certain companies and that your assets are there. So if, God forbid, you get sued by somebody, normally in a personal name, or even in one of the companies that you operate, well, your assets are in a holding company, completely detached from where they attacked you, so you remain safe. They can attack you, sue you, go after that treasure, and when they unveil it, there's no money. I am bankrupt. I own nothing. And that's the secret of the wealthy. I'm revealing here to you. You might already know it. You don't own anything, but you control everything. That's the secret. And also, when you have a company in one of these jurisdictions, if this attack it's escalated, well, then the person or the group that attacked you or that want to take your assets will have to escalate this to the court of that jurisdiction. So if we start adding 2, 3, 4 jurisdictions, they just need to jump over hurdles and present cases against you in multiple countries, which makes it very difficult to get to the end beneficiary or eventually where the assets are kept. So in most of the cases, that would be dismissed by the first country in court. I would just see there's nothing, close the case, that's it. Then not even get to the second, third, or fourth layer of your fortress. And if things get really annoying, the beauty of all of this is you can operate with speed. In a couple transfers, in a couple signatures of papers, even with power of attorney. By the time they try to sue you in your second company, oh, the money is there, it's already gone. It's not there. So you're always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead in this chess game. This is the difference between the novices and the grandmasters. It's the same 64 squares in a chessboard, the same 16 pieces for the opponent, for us, but the grandmaster wins every single time because he knows how to play better the game. So even if rules are, let's say, for vast majority of people the same for everybody, it's how you play them to your favor, like a sovereign grandmaster. So basically, unless you committed some serious criminal act, which of course we just assume it's not the case, it's gonna be almost impossible to get to the treasure, to the gold in all of this spider web of companies and jurisdictions. Like this game of the ball, where they move it around and they're like, where is the ball? It's not here, it's not here, and it's not even here. Magic? Of course not. Ability, skills, distraction, knowledge, the right context at the right time in the right place. But with this said, this is not a get free of jail card. Don't be stupid. If you commit some criminal act, believe me, they will find you. So this is more for business people that just want to have peace of mind and their assets safe doing legal activities. And as mentioned at the beginning of this chapter, well, if you want to take this thing a step farther, then create a trust. So on top of all of these holding companies, you have a trust that it's usually set up in a strong jurisdiction, Cook Islands, Nevis, there are other ones that we work with that just provide superior protection. It is just impenetrable. And again, you need to know how you're doing it to have this ability to maneuver fast whenever it's needed, but with the right structure and the right setup, it's just completely safe. And you don't need to wait until you are a decamillionaire, centimillionaire, a billionaire to do this. Ideally, you create all of these structures before anything happens, so that when something occurs, you're like, go ahead, go after me. And having this feeling, especially as a man, I feel like, just like, so we never know what's gonna happen in the future. Did you expect COVID-19? Did you expect the Russian invasion to Ukraine? Did you expect bombs in Palestine, Israel, all of this chaos? Did you expect, and go back, any black swan event in history that by definition a black swan is something unpredictable? So the best bet we have as savvy businessmen, as first-class citizens, is to get ready, to be prepared before anything happens. And that brings me to the next point, which is multiple citizenships. I'm a firm believer, and that's as well what I preach with my multiple citizenships, that you need more than one passport. You cannot just stay with, oh, I was born in this place and that's my passport. There's a saying in the sovereignty space, we say one passport is like no passport, 2 passports is like 1, 3 is like 2. Why? Because if something happens with that country, let's say you want to revoke the United States one, you don't have ability to maneuver, you cannot do anything, because life will just get hard without a passport. You cannot travel. It's not like the 1800s. Come on, now you need to be in multiple grids. That's like, oh, I'm gonna live off grid. No. You need to be in multiple grids. So whenever something happens in one, you just jump to the other, like this. So 2, 3 usually it's enough. 4 passports if you want. 5, 6, that's my goal in 5 years. It's just pure collectionism, you know. Some people collect luxury watches, some people collect supercars. I collect citizenships and residencies in multiple continents. And that's how I got into this game. That's how in 2019, after paying huge amount of taxes, over 50% in Spain, I moved to a country that it was 3%, under 3%, 2.65 in taxes in Europe. And then I moved to another at 0%, and you know, now it's been my reality for a while. But the thing is, get ready beforehand. Go and get multiple citizenships. That's what I did for myself, and then I turned it into a business, helping other people put my contacts, my trusted contacts that helped me, that are vetted by me, and my team help other people achieve the same results again and again and again. When I talk about citizenships in this sovereignty a la carte, I'm talking about Turkey, for example, via real estate, talking the Caribbean via donation, the popular CBI, citizenship by investment, and then other countries that through naturalization, for example, Mexico, you can have temporary residency, permanent residency, the citizenship, depending on if you marry somebody. I have plenty of videos on YouTube talking about different paths to citizenship, also descent. You can collect these passports, but not just the booklet that allows you to travel to countries, they stamp it, but also the citizenship, which is the most important thing. The citizenship, the documents, the proof behind that booklet, that it's useless on itself. Because I can have one of these booklets that it's expired and it's not gonna get me anywhere. It's like money. It's the value we give to it, but you know, there's no intrinsic value in money, in a banknote. So what we usually do is assess where you want to do business, where you want to travel now in the next 5 years, 10 years, and get you the citizenships with the passports that will open doors to those countries for you and make it much easier to travel there. If not, ask somebody with a Belarusian passport. Ask them how it is as a Belarus citizen to travel around the world. You will understand the difference. Maybe you don't see it if you had a strong passport all your life, like you're born in Spain and you have a passport that gives you access to 191 countries pretty much of the world, visa-free or visa on arrival or electronic visa. But ask somebody from Kenya, from Nigeria, from Iran, wealthy individuals from these countries that just because of where they were born and not putting attention into this aspect of life, they focused on making money, growing companies, but not in this sovereignty asset. Well, they now start to understand when the world locks down like this, without you having any chance of preparing, that this is important. And I always say it's better 1 year too early than 1 day too late. Now we go to the last pillar, the credit cards. Where in the world, if you know Spanish credit cards, Brazilian credit cards, Canadian credit cards, these are rubbish compared to the US credit cards. And you don't even need to be a US citizen to access the US credit cards. The ones that give you the best points, the best miles, the best cashback, these are in the US. Not even in Dubai, the UAE, nothing in the US. And here's a little secret. How can I access that without being a US citizen and paying taxes in the US? Will I have to pay taxes, Miquel, in the US? Because you're not getting a social security number. You're getting something that is the equivalent for non-US citizens, non-US residents, that it's called ITIN, Individual Taxpayer Identification Number. These 9 digits opens you doors to open banks, and those banks, Chase, Bank of America, Capital One, American Express, etc., giving you the credit cards that you might have heard about. The Amex Gold, the Amex Platinum, the Amex Centurion, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, all of these cards that come with the best perks in the world when it comes to redemption for luxury traveling and luxury stays. Not only that, you can also open a US LLC as a non-US citizen without paying taxes in the US. Again, paying taxes, for example, in the UAE, 0% taxes. Open a US LLC, get an EIN. The EIN allows you to open business bank accounts, get business credit cards with the limits of 50,000, 100,000, when all combined 300,000 US dollars for 12 months at 0% interest. I have videos explaining that. Oh, what's the catch here? Where is the bank earning money? Many ways. I have videos talking about this on YouTube. But the good thing is you can leverage this money, this capital, make money with it, cycle it, and whatever profit you make, then 12 months after, you give back the principal to the bank and you keep all of the profits. All at 0% taxes, because all the money that you made with the US LLC is not taxed in the US. It's a disregarded entity. It's a pass-through entity. It means that you pay taxes at the personal level. Where are you paying taxes at the personal level? Of course not in Spain. Don't do that if you live in Spain, but damn it, in the UAE, for example. And then there are some hacks in here, like getting aged corps, shelf companies that have been 5, 7, 9 years open, that when a bank sees these companies, they think that you've been doing the business during all this time, and they will give you right off the bat, boom, $100,000 in credit instead of, oh, this LLC was created 2 months ago, then $5,000 in credit, and just build credit history. So you can shortcut that. On the personal side, you can become an authorized user. So for example, somebody with a 4, 7, 10-year-old credit card, let's say a Chase Sapphire Reserve from 10 years ago, they put you as an authorized user, which means that you inherit this credit limit. You will receive a card that of course you don't use. It's part of the deal, but you potentially can spend the same amount of money, the same credit limit as the primary user. That reflects in your personal credit score. So while you're building it, when you become an authorized user of an aged personal credit card with a big credit limit, then boom, your credit score just skyrockets. That's how you get to the 720, and with the 720 then you can become primary owner of these top tier cards. All of this legal, and if sometime you've seen a video of one of these gurus, an ad saying you can get $250,000 in funding, 0% interest, points, miles, stays in these great hotels, this is what they are doing behind the scene. And when you have this personal credit score strong, you have all of these cards on the personal side, on the business side, whenever you spend money through those cards, you accumulate points. So you optimize per category. Let's say you use American Express. The Business Gold gives you 4 points per dollar in ad spend. Then the Chase Ink Premier, 3 points per dollar in ad spend. The Chase Sapphire Reserves give you 3 points per dollar in traveling category, then another in groceries, another in dining category, etc, etc, etc. So you use each card for the category that will give you the most amount of points. That means that, let's say you spend $100,000 in ads, then 400,000 points. Using the card, the American Express Business Gold, that gives you 4 times per dollar. And you start doing this, you soon become a points millionaire. And when you have all of these points, you can have redemptions. Like for example, recently I got Barcelona to Dubai flight business class with Emirates in the A380. Value in cash, $3,061. Points, 87,000. Price for me, free. I just had to pay the taxes. It was around $400 that you would have paid anyways, paying with cash, and that's pretty much it. So I just spend, accumulate points, redeem. So there's 2 games here. One, having a lot of expenses and using it through the right cards to optimize the earning of the points, and then not being stupid, not being a fool. Like some people I see, oh, I redeemed these for 1.5 cents per point, 2 cents per point. Wow, we are pulling 6 in average. We are pulling 8, 10, even 14 cents per point. That's a 14% cash value on the points when it's international flights. So for example, a client getting him $10,000, 960 in a flight from New York to London, first class, just with points. Crazy redemption, over 9 cents per point. One thing is earning, the other is redeeming. If you can get 8 cents per point versus somebody 2 cents per point, it means that you need to use 1/4 of the points versus the other person. The other will be spending a lot of money to make some points and then poorly redeem them, when you can optimize it on both flanks. Seriously, don't underestimate the power of points and miles, because it's a business as well. Opportunity is a way to reduce costs on something that if you travel a lot, you will spend money. No, don't spend that money. Keep it for investing in your business, for things that points and miles will not buy, gifts, can be whatever makes you happy, or just investing real estate, but not paying $100,000 worth of hotels and flights per year. Some of our clients, $250,000 per year saved in hotels and flights combined. They can buy a home in many countries with that amount. They can buy a new passport. They can get 2 citizenships, It's just use that money for other things, but not for the scam of paying the luxury of the flights with cash, when you can do it with points and miles. It's available as a non-US citizen. And all of this, gentlemen, it's what I call first-class life. This is how you become a first-class citizen. When you have all of this combined, 0% taxes, your assets are safe, you have the best credit cards in the world, you can get funding, cycle the money, make profits, give it back to the bank. During all this time, you earned millions of points and miles, you fly the world for free, caviar, showers, lay flat beds. It's not even the luxury, it's just the commodity of being able to sleep and arriving in your next destination and I'm rested. All of this is possible. And don't you think you deserve it? That's how you upgrade your game. This is how you leverage whatever you achieved to this moment and double it, triple it, 10x it. Aren't we working so hard? Yeah, to make money, but to also upgrade the quality of our life and people around us, our circle, our family, our friends, our team. Getting your team flying around the world with the points that you're earning as a bonus for their performance in the company. You don't need to spend any dollar. It's all paid with points and cash. I could go on and on and on. This topic just amazes me. It's what I've been myself since 2019, studying, applying. I have 7 residencies at the time of shooting, 7 residencies in 4 continents, over 35 bank accounts, over 25 debit and credit cards, have multiple citizenships, I have 12 local currencies, like I have a Turkish lira, I have dirhams, I have euros, I have dollars, Mexican pesos, Brazilian real, everything you can imagine. I tried it because I want to see how is the process from inside out. It's what I do for fun, and to then share this knowledge with clients that want to go through these processes. This is how I legally paid 0% taxes since 2020, and how we helped over 90 clients right now achieve this as well, become first-class citizens. If you have any questions after watching this, bring them to the success call you're gonna have with my team. Feel free to watch more free YouTube content. It's hours out there available. You can watch, you can study me, you can Google my name, you can see if I'm legit, if I'm a scam. It's all open to you. I'm confident. You can look it up. See some reviews, some of the clients we've worked with, people that you might be following. Guess who optimized their taxes? Who got them multiple citizenships? Who got them flying around the world for free in these great planes and stays they show on social media? Go find out. I am Miquel Gironès, and I look forward to helping you become a first-class citizen. Be extraordinary. Adeu.